As I'm getting older, chip upon my shoulder, roll through life, you roll over and die. La 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 la, la 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 la, la la la.
Hey guys, it's Streed, and today I'm going to be reviewing one of my favorite 1970s dino flicks, The Last Dinosaur.
The Last Dinosaur was directed by Alexander Grashoff and Suganobu Kotani. It was a made-for-TV movie that quickly faded into obscurity. The only reason I know of this film's existence is because of Brandon Tennell's review of the film. It starred Richard Boone of Have Gun Will Travel fame, Joan Van Ark, who I know as Lucy Ewing's mother, Valine Ewing, on Dallas, and Stephen Keats, who played a minor role in the Charles Bronson classic Death Wish. The Last Dinosaur is about a wealthy geriatric hunter named Maston Thrust. Whoever came up with this man's name must have thought this was a completely different movie. Him and his team get stranded on an island full of dinosaurs, and Maston develops a Moby Dick-like obsession with a T-Rex, going to extreme lengths to kill it.
Now, despite me having a soft spot for this particular film, it does have many issues, but it has quite a few strengths. Let me explain. The one thing that is very prevalent in this film, and I actually didn't notice this till recent viewing with my best friend Jordan, that there is so many horrible day for night shots. Like, they are absolutely terrible. But that can be expected because in the 60s to around the 80s, maybe, I don't know, particularly I know in the 70s, they always use day for night shots. Which, yes, I like old things, but that is something that has never and will never age well, is day for night shots. Now, another problem with the movie is the effects are really, really terrible, but in a charming way. I don't know. I like how fake it looks. Like, it looks like it had some effort put into it, even if it looks fake and somewhat cartoony. Like, the T-Rex, for instance, looks very dopey. But I don't know. I find it charming in a way, you know? Now, another one of my gripes for this film is the bland characters. Now, not all of them are bland. Specifically Francesca Banks, she's kind of bland. Chuck Wade is the blandest. And Dr. Kawamoto, yeah, he's not really in the film for that long. He gets killed. Yeah, the T-Rex has this weird thing where he can just sneak up on people. Like, nobody hears a thundering T-Rex, and he just stomps on Dr. Kawamoto. I'm like, fuck, do you not hear him? I think I'd hear a giant-ass dinosaur tumbling towards me. You know, is everyone deaf? So that's a little bit of a weakness, but it's entertaining. Now, I think the most developed character in this movie was Maston. He was a very complex character played perfectly by Richard Boone. My only gripe is there's this one particular character that is not, I don't know, he's not treated very respectfully, and I'll get into that. There is some racist undertones, or actually, maybe, oh, yeah, undertones, I guess. There's a character named Bunta. He's a tall African-American man, and in the movie, he barely has any lines. I don't even think he says one word in the film, and he's treated more like, you know, like a warrior or like a pet. He even throws a spear in the movie. And early on in the movie, when Maston introduces his friend Bunta, everyone just stares at him like he's some fucking animal, and oh man, that did not age well. That was horrible. Oh man, that was terrible. And I know I'm giving this movie a lot of shit now, but it has good aspects. And also another one of my gripes is I do not like the lack of dinosaurs. There's this weird one at the beginning that charges towards Francesca Banks, and that dumb bitch, she's just taking pictures like, oh, whoa, whoa, wee! And Maston has to fucking grab her. And it's a really terrible green screen effect with the dinosaur coming towards her, and the dinosaur itself looks pretty stupid itself, but yeah, it's not specifically a Triceratops, I don't know what kind of dinosaur it is, and there's a horrible looking pterodactyl that barely moves. It's like, you know? And of course, there's the T-Rex, and then there's a Triceratops later, and that's about it. And that's a little disappointing about the film. There's not really that much dinosaurs, and when there is, they don't look that great. I'd say the most entertaining dinosaur in the movie has to be the T-Rex. I mean, even though he looks kind of stupid. But, yeah. And, my bud Jordan, he made a funny comment. He said that he found the lack of Asian ladies disturbing. But now I'm going to get into the positives. I love the complexity of Maston Thrust. This is what I got from the film. Maybe I'm reading too deep into this, but I feel like he's a very lonely old man. And once you get older, you want to recapture your youth. You want to feel young again. And I think that was part of why he was so obsessed in killing this dinosaur. He wants to feel useful again, and he wants to feel accepted in a world that's forgotten him, you know? Because he's very old. He wants to prove himself anyway. It's like a pride thing, you know? And that's what I got from it. And, yeah, I like the complexity of Maston, and I love the way the film ends. The film basically ends with Francesca and Chuck. Unfortunately, Bunta and Kawamoto, as you know, they die. But I love the ambiguous ending with Maston staying behind with this, like, cave girl, I guess. And, you hear the dinosaur roaring in the background, because he never actually kills the dinosaur. And, he just walks away, you know? And the girl follows him, and you hear the dinosaur roaring, and then, bam, end credits with that fucking badass theme song. You need to listen to it.
Few men have ever done what he has done, or even dreamed what he has dreamed.
Yeah. Pretty badass. I love that song. I listen to that song over and over. But yeah, another strength of this film is, I don't know, sometimes I like the comedy and I love the music. I like the soundtrack. There's a lot of whistling in it, you know? And I love that that little sound effect that it just like I don't even know how to describe it, but yeah. It's not the greatest movie, but it's certainly entertaining. I've seen it a few times. I saw it once with my bud Jordan. I would recommend checking it out. It's not boring. There are some scenes that drag on. There's a few overtones. But it's fun in a cheesy way, and it has some hidden complexity in there that's not really... It's not really as appreciated as it should be, but I also understand that because the film is not that good itself. It's basically like a whole... Alright, how do I describe this? It's like a really bad tasting energy drink, but when you get to the halfway point of the sip, it tastes good. You know, it's pretty filling, and it's interesting, and you want to know more, but this film, it's like, I don't know, I'm very conflicted on it. It has its issues, but it's charming in a cheesy way, and I like the complexity of Maston. I would have to say I'd give this movie a rating of 6 out of 10. Well, guys, that was my review of The Last Dinosaur, and I will see you all next time.